Hi, this is Lisa Somerville for Divinity Designs. Today I'm here to share with you the release for November and December 2021. In this release, we have one stamp set, 16 dies, one paper die duo, one paper refill, 4 6x9 paper pads, and one embossing folder. Now let's take a look at the products in this month's release. The stamp set, Snowman and Friends. This is a set of 4. We have 3 word dies, Merry Christmas with layers 2. This is a set of 4 dies, 2 word dies, and 2 layer dies. And here you can see that used on a card. Merry Christmas in layers 2. This is a set of 2 dies. You have the word die and the layering die. And Merry Christmas in layers 3. This is also a set of 2 dies, the word die and the layering die. And here you can see it used on a card. You can use these dies with the layers or without the layers. When using these dies, you'll want to be sure to emboss the dies. Embossing the dies will bring out the details of the die. Anytime you see 2 shades of purple on the packaging or the web images, that does indicate that you should emboss your dies for best results. The next die set, Retro Ornaments 2. This is a set of 7. Again, be sure to emboss these dies following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing the dies will bring out the detail of the dies. Here you can see I die cut and embossed these dies from the metallic paper pad, and then added the extra embellishments found within the die set. The next die set, Snowshoes. This is a set of 2 dies. Again, be sure to die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing the dies will bring out the detail of the dies. Here you can see the snowshoes used on a finished card. And on this card, I added stenciling to the embossed areas of the die cut. To add stenciling to your die cut pieces, after die cutting and embossing, leave the die cut in the die. Then use ink in our ink blending brush to apply ink over the die cut. Then remove the cardstock from the die, clean your die, and use our blending brush cleaner to clean the brush. Then you can use these die cuts to embellish your cards or scrapbook pages. The next die is a Wintertime Sled. This is a set of 5 dies. You'll die cut and emboss these dies following the directions for your die cutting machine. Here you can see the sled on a finished card. And here you can see the die cut and embossed pieces. I'm going to adhere the die cut and embossed panels to the base sled using Barely Art Glue. Once that's dry, you can use it as an embellishment on your cards, scrapbook pages, or even personalize it and make a Christmas ornament. The next die is Snowflake Square Background. Die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. The die cut panel measures 5 by 5 and coordinates with our square card base with layered die set and our square dies. Here you can see it with the layering panel from the square card base with layer die set, and here you can see it on a finished card. Underneath the die cut panel, I have the layer die from the square card base with layer die set. To add a pop of color between the snowflake square background die and the square card base, I use the largest die from the squares die set. Now I have 3 die sets to share with you that coordinate with each other, or you can use them separately. The Tree and Hill Silhouettes. This is a set of 5 dies. House and Layer Silhouettes. This is a set of 6 dies. You have the house die, the layering die, another house die, a layering die, and 2 fence dies. And next is the A2 thin pierced frame die. This die covers an A2 size card. Here you can see the die cut pieces from the Tree and Hill Silhouettes die set. You can see that you can layer them together to create a scene and then use the A2 thin pierced frame on top of these die cut pieces. As I mentioned, the House and Layer Silhouettes die set contains layering dies, so that way you can add a layering panel behind the house die cuts so it looks like there's light shining through the windows. Here we have the layering panel, and here we have the house die cut panel. You'll simply adhere those two panels together using Bearly Art Glue or your favorite adhesive. And here you can see this die set on a finished card along with the Tree and Hill Silhouettes die set and additional Divinity Designs products. And here's the House and Layer Silhouettes die set along with the A2 thin pierced frame die. And here you can see you can use all three of these die sets together to create a scene. The next three die sets coordinate with our Slimline die collection. We have the Slimline House and Layer Silhouettes. This is a set of 4 dies. You have the house die, the layering die, and 2 fence dies. Be sure to die cut and emboss these dies following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing the dies will bring out the detail of the dies. And here are the die cut and embossed pieces from the Silhouette House and Layers die set. You'll adhere the layering panel behind the die cut and embossed houses so that you have color behind the windows and the doors from this die cut panel. The next die set is the Slimline Tree and Hill Silhouettes die set. This is a set of 3 dies. And just a note on our silhouette dies, you'll see that there's no cut edge at the bottom of these die sets. That way you can use your paper trimmer to make these as deep as you want to use on your projects. After trimming these pieces as deep as you'd like them, you can continue to use your paper cutter or a pair of scissors to snip off the edges. And here you can see the 3 die cut panels from this die set. You can then use these separately or use them together and add them to our Slimline card base. You can also create a frame to go around these die cut pieces using the Slimline thin pierced frame die. The next die set is the Slimline Merry Christmas banner and layer die set. This is a set of 2 dies. When you die cut these dies from cardstock, the letters will fall from within the die cut banner. You can then use that to embellish your Slimline cards like you see here. The last 2 die sets that I have to share with you coordinate with each other. We have the Nugget Snowflake background die. Die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing the die will bring out the details of the die. And then we have our extra large nugget box die. This is a set of 7 dies. This die coordinates with the nugget box snowflake background die that I just shared with you. This die set contains the box top, the box layer, the box bottom, and nugget wrapper dies. Again, die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. Here you can see the box bottom, the box top, the box layer, and then the nugget box snowflake background die cut panel. Before I show you just how easy it is to create the nugget box, I'm going to share with you a completed project where I created a birthday gift. Now normally when you cut the box top, you're going to have a solid top, but I wanted to have this open so that you could see through to the inside. To create that opening in the box top, I simply die cut and embossed the box top and the layering panel at the same time. And to decorate the nuggets spelling happy birthday, I used the alphabet caps die set. You're going to start out by adhering the box layer to the box top and then fold on all the score lines. Now, if you're going to embellish your nugget box using the nugget box snowflake background die, you're going to want to adhere that panel in place before folding on the score lines. You can adhere that panel with barely art glue. You can then use a bone folder to reinforce your score lines so you have nice crisp scores. Then you're going to apply adhesive to all 4 tabs, fold those in, hold them securely, and that'll form the box top. Repeat that with all 4 sides. Then we'll set that aside and we'll work with the box bottom. When you die cut the large nugget box, this die cuts and scores for you. You can reinforce the score marks using your score pal and then fold on the score lines. Again, use a bone folder for a nice crisp score. Apply adhesive to the 4 tabs, fold those in, hold securely until the glue dries. Repeat that on all 4 sides to form the box bottom. And there you have the box bottom for the extra large nugget box. And here's the top of the box. You can then use the nugget wrapper dies and die cut from pattern paper. Add tape to the pattern paper and then wrap around your nugget. You can continue doing that until all your nuggets are wrapped and then place them inside your box and finish embellishing. Next we have the Merry Gnomes Paper Die Duo and the Merry Gnomes Refill Paper Pad. The Merry Gnomes Paper Die Duo is 6 by 9 and contains 12 Merry Gnome papers, 2 sheets per paper, along with 1 coordinating Merry Gnome die. To die cut the images from the Merry Gnomes paper, you'll simply align the die over the pre-printed images, use removable tape to hold that die in place, then die cut following the directions for your die cutting machine. This will leave you with cute Merry Gnome images that you can use on your projects or scrapbook pages. Here you can see I've used one of the Merry Gnomes with our candy carrier die set. And here's a closer look at the gnomes. The Merry Gnomes Refill Paper Pad is also 6 by 9 and contains 12 designer papers, 2 sheets of each design. Please note that the Merry Gnomes Refill Paper Pad does not include the die needed to die cut these images. Next, I have 4 6 by 9 paper pads to share with you. The Plethora of Plaids paper pad contains 30 designer papers, 5 sheets of each design, the Red Poinsettias paper pad contains 32 designer papers, 8 sheets of each design. And the Pink Poinsettias paper pad contains 32 designer papers, 8 sheets of each design. Our Rustic Christmas wood papers contain 30 design. The Plethora of Plaids paper pad contains 30 designer papers, 5 sheets of each design. And last, I have the Slimline Wood Grain embossing folder. This embossing folder measures 4 by 9 and coordinates with our Slimline die collection. Here you can see it with our Slimline card base. And shown here using our Slimline thin pierced frame. Now I'd like to share with you a closer look at some of the projects that I've created using products from the November-December 2021 release along with additional Divinity Designs products. Here's the extra large nugget box with the nugget box snowflake background die. Here's the same box, except this time I cut an opening in the top of the box so that you could see through, and I decorated the nuggets by spelling happy birthday. And here I have a gift set where I've created a shaker card. And this is our candy carrier. And now I have 4 Christmas cards to share with you. Another shaker card. the wintertime sled, the snowflake square background, along with the Merry Christmas in Layers 3 die set. For more inspiration using these and other Divinity Designs products, visit the product pages on our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Pinterest and Instagram.